Hello, the title of our paper is Information Seeking Within Academic Digital Libraries, a survey of graduate student search strategies. My name is Orland Hoeber. I'm a faculty member in the Department of Computer Science at the University of Regina in Canada. My co-author is Dale Story, an associate university librarian in the Dr. John Archer Library, also at the University of Regina. Searching within academic digital libraries has become commonplace for graduate students seeking academic literature to support their research activities. The complexity of such academic search activities can vary widely, ranging from the simple task of fact verification to the learning required for knowledge discovery. Likewise, there are a variety of information-seeking strategies that can be employed, ranging from simple lookup-based search to more complex multi-stage and exploratory search strategies. While we expect that the complexity of this search activity would influence the information-seeking strategies employed, we sought to answer a more general research question. What factors influence a graduate student's choice to employ specific information-seeking strategies? In order to answer this research question, we conducted an online survey of the graduate students at our university. Unfortunately, there were some challenges in the distribution of the survey that limited participation. We report here on the results from 33 completed surveys. We started by collecting demographic and program-specific information from the participants. Each participant was then presented with 2 randomly selected information-seeking scenarios from a total of 4 that we prepared and built into the survey. For each of these scenarios, participants were presented with a summary and a set of 5 search strategy statements that describe each information-seeking strategy under investigation. For each of these statements, participants were asked to identify the degree to which they agreed or disagreed with the statement on a 5-point Likert scale. The 4 search scenarios that we built into the survey were fact verification, knowledge enhancement, knowledge acquisition, and knowledge discovery. For the fact verification scenario, we asked the participants to consider a recent situation where they were writing a paper in which they needed to look up or verify a specific fact. For example, the date of an event, the correct spelling of someone's name, or the details of a specific research paper. For the knowledge enhancement scenario, we asked the participants to consider a recent situation where they already knew a lot about the topic, but wanted to see if there are any new developments or literature in other venues that they hadn't previously considered. For the knowledge acquisition scenario, we asked the participants to consider a recent situation where they were planning on conducting a new study that is related to their previous research, but for which they would need to acquire new knowledge on the specific topic. And finally, for the knowledge discovery scenario, we asked the participants to consider a recent situation where they were planning on initiating a new study on a topic that is not related to their previous research and would therefore have limited prior knowledge upon which to base their search. The 4 information-seeking models upon which we base the strategies are lookup-based search, dynamic or berry-picking search, multi-stage search, and exploratory search. The lookup-based retrieval model describes a process by which a searcher will formulate a specific query that describes the information they are seeking, view a set of search results, and select 1 or more documents to view. This is the dominant model supported by most search engines. Bates's dynamic or berry-picking model acknowledges that a searcher's information need is not static. It evolves as the searcher learns more about the topic. This is reflected in the searcher gathering information from a series of lookup-based tasks, with the previous search informing the next based on what has been learned. Searchers may also leverage what they've learned by following citations, browsing within a journal or conference proceedings where another relevant document was found, or search for the specific authors discovered in the search process. Multi-stage search models, such as Vacary's 3-stage model of information seeking, acknowledges that a search process may be divided into distinct stages. Vacary's model classifies these as pre-focus, focus formulation, and post-focus. In the pre-focus stage, the searcher undertakes a broad exploration of the topic. In the focus formulation stage, the searcher refines their goal and explores it in detail. In the post-focus stage, the searcher collects, synthesizes, and makes use of the search results. Exploratory search consists of 2 types of searching: exploratory browsing and focus searching. Searchers will generally start with a vague or underdefined search goal and conduct an exploratory browsing to learn, investigate, and discover relevant information. As they become more certain about the topic, focus searching will be used to find specific documents, extracting the information that is needed for the task. Our hypothesis at the time of designing the study was that graduate students would be able to choose the information-seeking strategy that best suits a given information-seeking scenario. For example, we expected that when presented with a simple fact verification scenario, the participants would indicate that they would use simple lookup-based search strategies. And when presented with a more complex knowledge discovery scenario, they would indicate the use of more complex multi-stage or exploratory search strategies. To our surprise, there was no statistically significant interaction of the scenarios on the reported use of any of the strategies. We then proceeded to explore among the data to discover whether any of the other factors we collected had an influence on which information-seeking strategies the participants reported to have used. We treated these as quasi-independent variables: discipline of study, level of degree, research methodology, and search training. Considering the research methodologies employed by the participants, we found that there was a statistically significant effect in the use of multi-stage and exploratory search strategies. A post-hoc analysis of the use of multi-stage search strategies revealed that these strategies are used more commonly by mixed methods graduate students than those who use a design or case study method. A post-hoc analysis of the use of exploratory search strategies did not reveal a statistically significant effect between the groups. What we can conclude from these findings is that there may be some aspect of mixed methods research that lends itself to graduate students using multi-stage search strategies more so than those who use other research methods. Considering the search training that graduate students received, we found different results depending on whether the training occurred as part of their undergraduate or graduate training. Whether a participant did or did not receive academic digital library search training during their undergraduate studies had no effect on their use of any of the search strategies. If the participant received search training as part of their graduate studies, this positively influenced their use of multi-stage and exploratory search strategies. That is, simply being exposed to recent academic search training, graduate students showed a tendency to employ more advanced search strategies. We revisited our initial hypothesis that the search scenario would dictate the search strategy employed, using only the data from the 14 participants who received graduate-level digital library search training. No statistically significant results were found within this subset of the data. There are 3 key implications from this study. Firstly, we found that graduate students are choosing their search strategies on factors other than fitness of use. Even for the simplest of search scenarios, fact verification, the participants in this study indicated that they used strategies associated with multi-stage and exploratory search more so than those associated with lookup search. The participants seemed to fall back on strategies that were familiar, had given them past success, or were convenient. While the graduate students who received academic search training as part of their graduate programs showed a tendency to use the more advanced information-seeking strategies, multi-stage and exploratory search, they applied these generally to all search scenarios. As such, they too choose their search strategies based on familiarity and past success. In addition to providing graduate students with training on how to use advanced information-seeking strategies, there is a need for this training to also include lessons on how to match these strategies to the complexity of the problem. We have initiated such training at our university, and will be administering this same survey in a longitudinal setting to measure how academic digital library search competency changes over time as a result of more comprehensive search training. We also believe that the search interface has an influence on a searcher's willingness and ability to use advanced information-seeking strategies. Many academic digital library search interfaces are designed to support lookup strategies only. Some researchers, including those working in my research group, have developed new search interface features to support multi-stage and exploratory search strategies. More research of this kind is needed, along with methods for detecting the types of queries issued so that the interface can intelligently guide the searcher to search strategies that are appropriate for their needs. Thank you for your time and interest in this topic. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about our work.